All right, man, peace. You know, brothers, I have to give Kobe Bryant credit for this because he's been saying this for a long time, and I've been saying the same thing. Really, since going back to LeBron James' time with the Miami Heat, that he would do himself and his teammates a lot more justice if he would get his ass down there in the post and work out of the post, as opposed to trying to play like Kyrie Irving at the top of the key or James Harden dribbling the ball through his legs 5,000 times and then claiming that he has no help. The help that you have, if you're truly as great as you claim you are, is going to be based on your ability to adapt your game to bring out the best in your teammates, not just continuing stubbornly to play whatever game you think you're supposed to be playing, no matter how old you are, and taking away from what your teammates do well. Once again, what a great athlete does is the same thing as what a great person does. What a great person does is they look at other people for what they can do, and they bring out the best in what they can do, as opposed to harping on what they can't do. And when it comes to what you can't do, if it's integral to the overall scheme of things that you improve what you can't do, then you have to work on that. But what a great leader does is they try to take what you can do and amplify that, optimize that, so that they can bring about a greater good. LeBron James has to understand, and unfortunately for him, he's so gifted that it stops him from being able to understand certain things, that maybe he has to adjust what he does to make his teammates better, as opposed to expecting his teammates to adapt to what he does, especially as he gets older. As Kobe Bryant is going to bring out in this interview, what Magic Johnson started to do around 1989, 1990, get down in the low post, pass out of the post, so that you can conserve your energy and allow your teammates to get wide open shots, as opposed to just dribbling out at the top of the key, trying to get fancy with the dribble and all that other stuff, wasting energy and wasting time. So anyway, they're going to talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
I want to ask you about LeBron. I don't think it's a coincidence that he had the worst stretch of games out, the worst injury of his career after he turned 34. You snapped your Achilles at age 34. What do you think LeBron's timeline is, and the pressure that puts on the Lakers in terms of their overall timeline?
He's fine. I mean, it just depends how he adapts his game.
Ding. And let me say this. LeBron James' timeline is not something that anybody knows. Once you get up in that territory of 34, 35, 36 years old, your career can end in a flash, especially when you're still playing the lead guy, or the intention in your mind is for you to be that lead player on your team. You never know when things can end. So he does have to start adjusting his game, at the very least mentally, because the mental approach has a trickle-down effect on what your body perceives. When you're still trying to push like you're 22 years old, when you're 34 years old, the body perceives that and tries to tax itself like it did when it was 22, and that's when it starts to break down. Kobe would know that as well as anybody, because in the 2013 season, down the stretch, he was trying to play like he played back in 2001, 2002, and his body told him no bueno.
Right? Because at some point you have to evolve, so the speed and the power that he's used to playing with has to change.
Agreed.
Which he can't, because now he has the God-given size to be able to adapt.
In other words, what Kobe is saying is that, wow, man, if I had the body that you had, you know how many championships I would have won? You know how many scoring titles I would have won if I had your body? I promise you, Kobe Bryant looks at LeBron James and says, I was gifted physically, but you're one of the most gifted natural athletes of the last 100 years with the physique that you got from the Most High.
And go to below the free throw line. Use more of a power game. You know, Magic did a lot of that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Magic at 6'9" went down to the post a lot, attracted double teams down to him, made plays from there. And he's more than capable of doing that and playing for a long, long time.
I agree. If LeBron truly wants to conserve himself for the next 4 or 5 years and give himself the best chance to win over the next 4 or 5 years, he'll start playing more out of the post. The more he's content to try to, maintain this facade of being 21, 22 years old again, or the same player that he was when he scored 25 points against the Pistons in the 07 Eastern Conference Finals, it's going to hurt him sooner than later. And that groin injury or the sports hernia that he allegedly has, that will be just the first of many, many deleterious injuries on his body. But anyway, peace.